Hi guys. In this year of the pandemic, and with everything going virtual, being disconnected has unfortunately become a common feeling, and it's even become more common. Can you hear me? It is the question that we ask each other in almost every virtual conversation we have. But today, it is the question that we want to ask, that we as a youth want to ask the world. Can you hear us? Through wonderful platform like this, we are able to find our voices and learn how to use them to make a positive impact in our world. What an honor that is. A very warm welcome to all of you guys here today, and thank you for being with us. My name is Mahal Badr. I am a I am Generation Amazing Youth Advocate as well as AFC Social Responsibility Ambassador. It is my pleasure on behalf of the Asian Football Confederation and Aurora for Training and Development and all the Eagle ambassadors across Asia to thank Generation Amazing, who despite these difficult times continue to push forward with their commitment to empowering the youth. Thank you for having us here today. Thank you for hearing us and for giving us the opportunity to share some of our hopes and ambitions toward more ethical, more responsible, and more meaningful football. Marvin, my fellow ambassador from Myanmar, will run you through our plans for today's sessions. So sit back, enjoy. Marvin, over to you.
Thank you, Maha, and hello to everyone. My name is Marvin, and I am the AFC's ambassador from Myanmar. I'm so happy to be here with my peers today and excited to share our workshop with you. Today, we will be sharing our ambassadorship journey. This program was a welcome breath of fresh air in these difficult times, and something we were all incredibly fortunate to be selected for, don't you guys think? It was an experience that transformed the way in which we view things around us, but both on and off the pitch. My fellow ambassadors and I have gone away with a fresh and open mind, and more importantly, a commitment to tackle social issues that resonated with us personally within our community, but also collectively within the football family. So after we tell you a little bit about the program, we will share some of our personal experiences, ambitions, and insights as to what sparked our ideas for social change and why we decided to tackle the social issues we chose. Finally, we have put together our top tips to help guide each and every one of you, not if, but when you decide to make a difference. Of course, we would love to hear from you also, so please post any questions you have for us in the chat box, and we will do our best to answer them at the end. Thank you, and now over to...
Thank you, Marvin. My name is David Chang, and I'm from Hong Kong, and I'm the representative AFC Youth Ambassador. So I'm going to share a little bit about us and who we are and how we got here. So this year, the Asian Football Confederation partnered with Aurora to launch the Eagle Virtual Social Responsibility Program. They did this as part of their COVID response efforts, and the program was for young national team players in Asia aged 16 to 17, just like us. 42 Asian football associations nominated players to sign up, and they nominated more than 90 different ambassadors across 5 different Asian regions. So long story short, from those who took part, 83 have successfully graduated and completed the program, more than half of which were young female ambassadors. And now we are about to start our journey for social change. So how did this work? Because of the pandemic, the program was run virtually, just like this session. We engaged in workshops led by Sport for Development NGOs covering a range of topics such as the Sustainable Development Goals, philanthropy in football, which was actually delivered by Generation Amazing, so thanks for that, diversity and inclusion, safeguarding and child protection, mental health and well-being, and more. With the help of AFC-Aurora and educators who guided us throughout this program, we were able to achieve this and look forward to doing so much more with it in the future. Starting with sharing our experience with you guys at the Generation Amazing Festival. Now, I would like to talk about this concept of virtual connection. In fact, to be honest with you, most of us, actually all of us ambassadors, we haven't met each other before in person. We may have played against each other in a football match, but this is actually our first time interacting with each other about such amazing topics. It was the first time that we've collaborated together rather than against each other. And this relationship was formed solely online. The current pandemic situation has not been convenient or pleasant for anyone around the world, but without it, I don't think we would have been able to come together from all corners of Asia to participate in such an inspirational and rewarding program. This virtual connection we have made is much like a personal relationship, and I've formed many friendships that are just as meaningful. We are privileged enough to be able to access this online platform, allowing us to express our ideas and develop them. It's a chain reaction. Without the pandemic, I wouldn't have been nominated by my football association to participate in this AFC program. And without this program, I would not be a social responsibility ambassador that would be able to share this story with you all. I'm definitely grateful for this virtual connectedness and the experience for meeting peers who share the same passion for the game. So that's our journey up until now. And I'm sure you all want to know what's next. Sam will tell you a little bit more. Sam? Sam, you're muted.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna restart. See, we love this virtual connection. It just has all these added benefits. All right, well, thank you, Xavier, and Hafaday from Guam. My name is Samantha Kenny. I go by Sam. I am from the island of Guam, like I said, and I am one of the 83 graduates from the AFC-Aurora Virtual Social Responsibility Program. One of the many things that this program has blessed me with, and all of us speaking to you today, is the ability to be here in front of you. And without this pandemic, this wouldn't have happened otherwise. So taking these circumstances as they come and being thankful for them. So I'm just very grateful to be able to speak to all of you today. And now that you guys were able to get a little glimpse of what the program was and what it was about and the virtual connection that it had, I wanted to share a little bit of my personal testimony of how it helped me connect in ways that I didn't really realize. With this whole Generation Amazing Festival, the whole theme is connectedness, right? And so with this program, it allowed me to connect in primarily two ways. One, like Xavier said, being able to connect with all these kids across Asia that I wouldn't have met otherwise, which is amazing and I'm super grateful for. And also, to my surprise, it actually helped me connect to my love for football and for the love of the game that I play. And that I found that after the program, like during the program, we weren't on the pitch or anything. We were on the screen talking about the intellectual side, the impact that football has in our communities, how we can use it as a tool for development. And yet, just based off of that, I was able to connect to football on the pitch in ways that I had this like newfound spark, this desire to play, show up to training early and leave later. Like, for example, if we were working out during practice, I wouldn't want to work out. I would just want to keep playing and playing. So I'm very grateful for that. And it was to my surprise that that actually happened to me. But I aim to carry that through to my social project. And talking about social projects, like Marvin said, we each chose a topic that resonated with us. And as you can imagine, there was a lot. And generally, all of the topics that us ambassadors chose fell under these 6 categories, which consisted of grassroots, gender equality, diversity and inclusion, safeguarding and child protection, health and well-being, and finally, environmental protection. I know that you guys would love to hear every single project that's in store, but for the sake of time and probably for everyone's sake, we are just going to be sharing 3 wonderful projects we have lined up and what we are going to be focusing on with those projects. So without further ado, let's get into it. I will actually be starting off talking about diversity and inclusion. So yeah, with my project, to kind of sum it up in a general statement, is social inclusion for young kids with disabilities. And the reason why I've decided to do this project is this. Guam's population consists of roughly 170,000 people. So we are a very small island compared to, say, the countries that a lot of you guys are from, the population. And so with an island being that tiny and also being extremely isolated in the West Pacific, and if you don't believe me, try finding Guam on a map, When it comes to resources, it is often limited out here. Like everywhere else, we do have a percentage of our people with disabilities, with special needs. And yet when it comes to the amount of hands-on learning development programs for them, it's not sufficient enough, or perhaps it's not to the level that we would like it to be. And so because of this, my fellow Guam ambassador, Kiara Hutcherson, and I have decided to start a football program for young kids with disabilities, primarily in the age range of 4 to 8. See, Guam does have a few development programs, such as a Special Olympics organization. However, we want to be focusing on the younger age range, those kids who, Special Olympics, it starts at age 9. So how about all those kids before the age of 9? Seeing this, my partner and I decided that younger kids who don't meet this 9-year-old age limit to join that Special Olympics should not be prevented from playing organized sports. And honestly, from the heart, it just came from the fact that these kids with special needs, they are the exact same as me. The only difference is our flesh. And so why is it that they are given a different experience than me? And so all me and my partner want to do is to simply change that, or to help in the efforts of changing that. And so basically what we want to do is, in the time period of 2 months, we want to help them develop through football. And one thing I want to state is that with this whole program, we're continually learning. It's like a continual learning process. For example, at the beginning, I was thinking this is going to be a football development program. However, I didn't realize that with kids this young and them having special needs, you can't just automatically teach them football like you would, say how I was taught football. But we're using football as a tool to development, say through hand-eye coordination, and using like the different colored cones to help them with their color differentiation and things like that. And to be honest, like, I'm 16, so I do not fully know what I'm doing, but thanks to the help of Aurora and AFC, I've had so much support that I'm so thankful for, and for this newfound dream of mine that I'm extremely excited for. So that being said, you've gotten a tiny glimpse of diversity and inclusion, and now on to our next social project. Sian, do you want to share yours?
Thank you so much, Sam. Hello, everyone. I'm Sian. I'm from Gawad Kalinga. I'm AFC's ambassador from the Philippines. So my project falls under the biggest umbrella, which is the grassroots football. And I think even Sam's and Umer's projects falls under this area as well, which is to engage young people in football and offer access to the beautiful game, no matter what their situations or background is. Well, for me, among the children's rights are the right to be indulged in sports and the right to have a proper educations. The pandemic may have been limited our engagement in sports, but that doesn't mean kids cannot do some athletic activities at home. Kids with no physical activity or social activity may lead their being restless, bored, or irritated, like we all have been during the lockdown. Since the start of or opening of the classes via distance learning, because here in my country, here in the Philippines, we cannot do face-to-face classes yet because of the strict protocols by the government. We must stay at home and to avoid COVID-19. The stoppage of real-life physical education is detrimental to their health. So my project will address these issues by getting kids involved in sports through activities that can harness their physical and mental well-being, as well as, and at the same time, attending schools. Kids from Gaud Kalinga hails from the less fortunate families, and I think mostly are enrolled in public schools where their education is subsidized by the government. So this is the demographic that I'm willing to touch down with my project, because I myself came from Gaud Kalinga site, and I think I can relate to them, and maybe I can say I'm part of them. That's all for me. Wish me luck. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sian. All right, so that wraps up our small glimpse into our ambitions and our social projects. And I hope we didn't lose any of you, but rather inspired at least a few of you. And with this whole process, yes, it's scary, and yes, it's a challenge. But when I think about it, what is life without its challenges, right? What is life without an opportunity for you to grow? So that being said, what advice would we like to share to you? Over to you, Malika.
Malika, I think your mic is muted.
Same problem.
Just check up again about your mic, Malika. Try to unmute it and then open it again. We can't hear you, Malika.
Malika, try checking your settings.
أنا شغال اطلعوا. Malika.
I think you should remove your earphones if it works. It might.
It's all right, guys. Malika, can you refresh your page quickly?
I love virtual learning. This is a process. I'm so sorry to all of our listeners. Just this is one of the things that happens with using our screens or computers and the overall process of virtual learning. We're in this together, though, guys. I'm here supporting you, Malika.
So I will say Malika's part until she can log back in with her mic because she is having a little bit of issues with her mic. So I want to guide you through introducing the ABC guide for making a difference. A is for aspire. In order for us to get anywhere, we need to know where we are starting from. And there is nowhere more important than starting with yourself. Know yourself and what drives you in wanting to make a difference. Look within finding your way and look why you want to find it. Knowing what drives you, making sure it is personal, it's person with you. Sorry. Knowing what drives you and making sure it is personal will help you achieve your ambitions. Then set a goal and hold yourself accountable and lead your example. No one can make you do what you promise yourself better than you. Yes, you. No matter how things go, never forget where you come from. Stay humble, and you are only as great as you make people around you feel. We are young and we are powerful, but the road ahead is long, and we will always be learning. So, with that being said, over to the next person who will continue. Hi, Xavier.
Can you
Over
guys?
to you.
B is for build. The top piece of advice that we got from our mentors is to break it down. Once you know your goal, break it down into achievable milestones, a step-by-step map of how you will get there. Make these small and manageable, and always check back in. Don't be afraid to change your plan to respond to the intricacies of your journey. Don't be scared to ask for help. You cannot and will not do this alone, and that's the best thing. You are not alone. The Sport for Development movement is massive, and we hope you will always find someone who can and wants to help you. But you need to be patient. Something young people are not always good at. So you should trust the process and collaborate. This is different from asking for help. Share ideas and let people be part of the journey. Trust and earn their trust. Collaboration is impossible without trust. And on to the next person for C.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
And
we can hear
Malika,
you.
welcome back.
Yes, your mic works,
Yes.
man.
Let's go. Okay. So on to C. C is for celebrate. Diversity and celebrate the differences between you and other people. It's all these differences that make us stronger. Beautiful, colorful football community. Be the person and there's no question more beautiful than to ask yourself at the end of the day, did I make someone smile today? You don't need a project to do that. That's all in you. When you fail with a smile on your face. Celebrate what you have. Be proud to be that kind of person who can learn from their mistakes, get up and fail better, smarter, wiser, and with awareness. And finally, guys, share your smallest parts of it, because every single conversation is an opportunity to inspire someone else to do something about it. Just by talking with it, even with your friends, your family, you are raising awareness. So, hi guys, my name is Malika. I'm so sorry that I had to go back and forth. So with all the stories that Sam shared with us, I just hope you guys were inspired to do something by yourself, to tackle an important problem that you see in society. And that is the reason all of us, we put our heads together and we came up with so much advice for you guys, because motivation is just the half of it. Everything else depends on how you do it, right? So because of that, all advice we had, we put it together into our ABC guide, making a difference. So like Maha, Xavier, and I told you guys, A is for aspire, B is for build, and C is for celebrate. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as ABC, pretty much. So that was a lot of advice. I hope you guys took something in. And there's a lot of other ambassadors who couldn't be here today. So they're going to share the ambassador's pledge with all of you. This pledge is the promise that we as ambassadors took to help our football and everyone around it. Enjoy.
Ability, gender, or any other difference. Together we will pursue the determination to unite people in these difficult times and fulfill our goals, hopes, and objectives. Together we will try to make every individual aware of their role in society, how they can make an impact through football. Together we will demonstrate and respect true sportsmanship and take responsibility for our actions. Together, we will make the best use of what we have and created to improve all aspects of the game. Together, we will promote intelligence and inventiveness to develop a stronger football community.
Okay, guys. So there is no question in the chat. So I'm going to ask you questions, my ambassadors, my fellow ambassadors here. My first question: what role do you think football plays in your society? Let me start with you, Xavier.
I think that's a really big question, Maha.
Just a sentence.
I'd say for me, football is really life for me, and it gives me much happiness. And I think that because football is one of the biggest sports in the world, everyone knows what football is as a platform for every single person to develop and to find enjoyment in. And I think that is a very versatile thing. Anyone can play football, no matter if you're disabled, no matter if you're a normal person, no matter if you're a kid or an elder, you can still play football. I think that's the beauty of the game, and that's why it's called a beautiful game.
Wow, you said life. It's really a big word, and I think I really agree with you. It's alive to be in plays and just continue inspire people through football. Okay, what about you, Samantha? What do you think? What is the role you think football plays in your society?
So I think the role that football plays on Guam, some background is Guam is very family oriented. So if there's football, there's going to be lots of people and there's going to be lots of food. So what it does in our society is it brings inclusion and it brings people together and it brings love, joy, and fun. So, yeah.
Wow, amazing answer. Xavier, do you have a question?
Okay, so my question to the ambassadors are, what was the hardest thing for you guys during this pandemic period?
Are you going to call someone out to answer?
Marvin, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Xavier. That's a very I guess it's a question that we all have answers to and different answers to. Or maybe for us footballers, I think it's quite the same because we all wanted to play football, and with the pandemic, it's quite hard to do that. For some of our FAs, we're lucky enough to play. Some are not, but I think we should be able to get strong and get past this together, and hopefully get to play football along with not just each other, but against not with our own community or our own team, but together, hopefully, in sometime soon. So yeah.
Thanks for that answer, Marvin. Cyan, you want to add to Marvin's points?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is to stay at home. As an athlete, it is hard for us to stay at home. Before the lockdown, when we have a training, I barely stay at home. That's why it's really hard for me. Look at my window, doors. I always see this every day, but um, without going outside, it's so hard for me. And I think that's the biggest challenge is to stay at home. That's it.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think everyone's getting a bit restless at home, just sitting in the same place all day long. We can't wait to get back out onto the pitch. I think Malika has a question for us all.
Let's be real. With all my connection issues, do you guys feel heard? So, Sian, you want to give it a try?
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. Do you feel heard? I mean, we're talking about can you hear me? And right now, do you think enough with whatever problem you have?
I think I'm heard enough because I have you guys, I have everyone, I have my family, I have my friends around me, I have the social media, and now I'm oftenly used it because I'm at home, I stay here, I sit and then use my phone, and I think I've been heard enough. Yeah.
I really like. So Sam, I have a question for you. So as a youth that is making a change, what can the football community do to make it easier for us?
See, with these questions, I wish I had more time to really think about it and answer. But how they can make it easier, I think when you think about those things, it's like, oh, do I have to do this like big thing to make it easier? But maybe it's just the small things. With our football associations, just having an open ear to our ideas and our opinions, just because we're young, not totally shutting us down, opening up, because all of us have connections, right? So using networking to connect us to this person who can connect us to that person, which over the course of the past few weeks, I've been amazed at how like easy that works. And so I think just those little things of keeping an open ear and connecting us to different people and just having support overall, just being supportive of our ideas and our opinions. But yeah, I think that's how they can be the most supportive.
Yes, thank you for that. Marvin, and
Yeah, actually, I want to ask what your teammates think of you being a social responsibility ambassador. Like, do they take you seriously? Do they respect your ideas? Do they think that there is a chance for you to make a change? Maha, anything?
So the thing about me, I never played professionally football, but I've always been involved in football and football for activities. I am a Generation Amazing youth advocate, and I've been with the Generation Amazing for like 2018, like 2 years. And how I think they are more than proud. They always support me, and also my fellow ambassadors or advocates are also really supportive. And yeah, just being a part of a network, a youth network, or especially like a youth, because you all are in the same age, so you all have this like powerful and just let's go, let's do stuff. It is amazing. So yeah, I think they are proud, and I am proud of them also. and I want to thank them because I know they are here. So thank you guys for supporting me. And yeah.
Thank you for your answer. I think I could agree on that. I think I have quite a lot of support from people around me, not just my teammates, my friends, my family as well. Anything, Xavier? Do you think the same?
Yeah, I think my teammates are very supportive of me, and as a social responsibility ambassador, I don't think the title is too concerning to me. I think that overall, social responsibility ambassador or not, my teammates have always been there for me, and they know that I have the capabilities and abilities to be a good leader and be a good teammate and be able to collaborate and interact and do all of the things that this role requires you to do and asks you to do. And I think that overall they're very proud of that for me and having this opportunity to share Hong Kong to the rest of Asia.
Thank you, Xavier, for your answer.
Okay, one more question. What has been the biggest thing that changed in your perspective since the coronavirus situation and the Eagle program? Sam?
That's another good question. I think one thing I want to share is from especially the Eagle program is that one thing really resonated with me throughout this entire process of kind of choosing my social project. And ever since I heard this from one of our workshops, there were so many, I can't forget which one it was, but it had to do with inclusion. And it just helped me choose my social project today. And so the lesson that I learned is that with inclusion, if you're given various diversity, right? So different people, different beliefs, different cultures, even when it comes to people with special needs and people without special needs, sometimes it's not giving everyone the same thing, but rather giving everyone the same experience. And so sometimes because of that, you might have to give someone a little bit more than the other person. And maybe someone might think of that as unfair, but when you look at it in the end, it is kind of, you would say, equal, because it's not about the different things that are being given. It's just how do you feel after that experience? Do you feel what this person felt? And trying to include people in that experience and not leaving anyone out. So when I heard that, that just has stuck with me all the way till now, and is one of the reasons why I chose my social project. It's kind of helped me with that new mindset. So I would say that was probably stuck with me through this pandemic and through specifically the Aurora program.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that everyone's special in their own way, and they just need some support to help them find that thing that makes them unique. Malika, would you like to add anything?
Right. But my perspective goes, I guess we've all of us, we have been everything that goes on. We just haven't been kind of given the opportunity to address it. So, but again, to me, I started understanding and kind of gratitude that we have the opportunity, and maybe just this once, we could use this opportunity to help someone else. Maybe feeling gratitude is not enough anymore, because we're the future. A lot of people are probably depending on us to gain. So as leaders, if we can all work together to do that, so absolutely do.
Yeah, I think that's very inspirational and motivational, Malika. Yeah, I think that's a really kind of big idea that you have there, and being young leaders and giving back to our community and inspiring for future generations. I think that is the whole essence of being a social responsibility ambassador, and making sure that everyone is heard.
So with today's workshop, give yourselves a pat on the back. Thank you for putting up with all our connection issues. And just one last piece of advice. And this journey will be difficult for all of us, and as budding leaders, for all of you. And like any system that works smoothly, there's always going to be a breakdown. There's always going to be one small problem. I mean, I couldn't work my mic for some reason, but there's always a way to fix it, right? Just like that, with all our projects, with everything we're doing, there's a way to fix what's going wrong, right? So accept your problem. Whatever you're doing, you have to accept that you have a problem and that you have to fix it. Then get curious. Try and understand why you're having this problem. What went wrong where? You know, just get curious about this issue that you're having. Third thing you can do is talk to people who have already fixed this. We're youth leaders, so there's tons of people you can go to, your teachers, your coaches, your parents, your peers, and ask them if they've ever encountered a problem like this and talk to them. And then just try small methods, different ways of fixing it. And then tell your story. Tell someone else about what you're doing and then this issue you had and how you're going to fix it, right? And with every story you tell and inspire others to have their own story and share that story, you can start a chain reaction. It'll just spread like wildfire, you know, this wildfire of optimism and resilience, and it will be absolutely beautiful. Just take it from us and try it out, and you can't go wrong, because if you do go wrong, there's a way to fix it. Accept your problem, understand it, talk to someone, try and fix it, and tell your story. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you had a great time with us, guys.